Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Psychopaths, episode 16. Oh, man.
So
stuff's going down. They're all headed towards the big tower. And Makishima's there with his, elite squad, you know?
Oh, yes. And of course, Kagari, Kogami, and Akane are the only ones going to stop him.
Right, and it kind of leaves Masaoka, Genosa, and Kanizuka from being killed.
Right.
I think because they're bringing the kind of token side character Kagari into this whole mix, it's not looking good for him.
Not good at all.
Unless Masaoka convinces Genosa's group to go there immediately.
Sure.
Then we could see a thing where it's anyone could really die.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, as of right now, it's looking not so good for Kagari.
Nope.
But we're also still a ways away from the ending. So
we are.
This is not end game material.
Even though it is.
Even though it is.
But it isn't.
It isn't, though.
Yeah.
So who's going to lose here? Are both sides going to lose? Makishima's not going to completely succeed in his goal. He will find out what the Sybil system is, but he won't be fully prepared for what he actually finds.
Sure. I have no idea, really. I mean,
I still think it's some kind of fusion of the
me too.
asymptomatic stuff with some superior AI.
Yeah, but should we just?
Yeah, let's just watch this episode and see what happens.
We should split up now. I'll go upstairs and you go down.
Are you sure? Considering what we're looking for.
Crap.
I know Kogami. He's going to come after me. So I should create a diversion while you do the work.
Oh
no.
I have very high expectations for you.
I understand. Leave it to me.
Good. So they've wrapped up here.
So you're absolutely sure?
Shion's tracking them to determine if it's Makishima or not. But either way, there's no mistaking the fact that an armed squad broke into Nona Tower.
Yep.
There are clear signs of forcible entry. Electronics and communications are compromised.
Since the riots have yet to subside, we in Division 1 will deal with the break-in at the tower. But listen up. If Makishima really is there...
Bring down Shogo Makishima, but don't harm him.
You arrest him. We need to interrogate him. So be sure to capture him alive. Is that clear?
I'll try.
Trying is not good enough this time.
Yeah.
If he dies, it's on your head.
I've just tapped into all of Nona Tower's security cameras and I'm controlling them from here. The bad guys seem to have split up into 2 groups. 4 upstairs and 4 down.
Where's Makishima?
Upstairs. He just stepped off the elevator on the top floor.
The top floor? Not the government office?
That's right. They headed straight for the antenna block. Maybe they're trying to hijack the radio signal.
And what's going on with the group that went downstairs?
I don't know. I lost them after they went into basement level 4. It's like they just disappeared.
I'll take downstairs.
But it'll be 1 against 4.
So you guys will be 2 against 4. And with Makishima there, upstairs is bound to be a heck of a lot more dangerous.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh
good
boy.
luck.
Crap.
Yeah, he's dead.
Kagari. Try not to act reckless.
I don't need you of all people to tell me that, Ko.
Really?
Wow.
Make a right in the hallway ahead.
And the visuals are
That's
so
where I lost
good.
track of those guys on the security cameras.
What's that? Shion, the basement is only supposed to go down 4 floors, isn't that right?
Yeah, according to the schematics.
I got a bad feeling here. This kind of thing is really not for me.
Don't go.
Yeah. Just
If you get the
stay
bad
there.
feeling, just stay there and wait
Guard
for
the
backup.
exit.
Yeah, exactly. They have to come back up the same way.
Exactly.
Makishima's a decoy. The real target's in the basement. If that weren't the case, it'd make no sense for them to divide off into 2 groups.
I seem to have lost communication with Kagari. So I've got no clue what's going on with him.
They could
Oh,
end
boy.
with capturing him but losing Kagari.
Yeah.
I want to go back. Shion?
He's
Communication
dead.
error. System link cannot be established at this time.
You gotta be kidding me.
Is that a nail gun?
Yeah.
How's it going there? Did you kill him?
sorry, but I turned the tables on your friend.
Well, not bad. You're an MWPSB enforcer, right?
And who might you be?
Why don't you and I have a little chat? This basement is one giant anechoic chamber. This is no joke. Waiting for us just behind the door I'm facing right now is the core of the Sybil system.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
We're both latent criminals. How does it make you feel to see those people who took everything away from us? Those people who treated us like scum, killing each other all over town. Don't you think it serves them right?
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. To be completely honest, I liked it. Whoa, don't get me wrong, you slimy bastard. I mean, yeah, Sybil may be crap, but so are you guys.
Where do you get off anyway? Manipulating people and talking about letting them live or die. You know, you and I are both just trash, jealous of other people's happiness.
There's still 2 other soldiers down there.
There's no difference to me if thousands die in this damn city. But what I don't like is the idea that only the bastards who are making them kill each other get to live carefree.
I was thinking we could become friends, the two of us.
Sorry, but my friends are upstairs right now kicking your boss's ass. And I'm not about to betray them for you. What I am about to do is come and take you down. But you know, if you have enough time, it'd be great if you could destroy Sybil before I got there. Then 2 of the things I hate the most would be snuffed out from this world at the same time.
Oh crap. No.
Makishima's on the top floor, towards the very back.
Crime coefficient is 24. Enforcement action not required. The
Yep.
trigger is now
Oh,
locked.
ow.
Crap.
Suplex!
Yeah!
Oh, you're out. You're out, dude.
I'll catch up when the bleeding stops. You should keep moving.
Oh.
You're hurt.
Don't let Makishima get away. That's an order.
Whoa. That's some kind of laser cutter. Whoa. Oh! Yikes. Grab that. Grab that.
Yeah.
Weapon. That thing was intense. Whoa!
Oh boy.
Shit.
And carry his momentum with him. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Nice.
Epic.
That was awesome.
You fought rather well, considering your wounds.
Ah!
Crime coefficient 0.
It'd be fun to spend all night talking with you, but unfortunately I have other business to attend to.
Yeah, so do I. Mostly killing you where you stand.
The last time we were face to face, you were lying there dying, and I could have easily finished you off. Don't you feel in debt to me for letting you live?
No.
You're about to really regret that decision.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, that was good. Oh! Careful, careful. Yep, yeah. Yeah. Oh!
The motion of this reminds me so much of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
Oh.
For a brief moment, I forgot my boredom. So thanks for that.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Oh!
Mr.
Double tap,
Kogami.
double tap, double tap.
Yeah.
Do it now. Kill him.
Shogo Makishima, you are now under arrest.
Oh man, he's barely alive.
Yeah.
Oh, they're both gonna see it together.
What in the hell am I looking at here?
It's the truth. No one will be able to
The
stop them.
target's threat judgment has been reappraised. Enforcement mode. Lethal eliminated. Trigger safety
Yep.
released.
Mm-hmm.
Aim carefully and eliminate the target.
Saw that coming. And then she's gonna raise it again. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. See?
Yep. Holy crap. Yep.
Aim calmly and subdue the target.
Yep. See?
Decomposed.
No.
Just my luck, huh? This sucks.
No! No! And it all means nothing. We're not going to find out anything. Oh, come on.
Well, we called it, but that doesn't make it any better.
Well, you called it as well because her being there is exactly what you thought, that she was basically just a puppet of the Sybil system herself,
Right.
being not fully human necessarily.
Yeah.
So, Sybil system is making live choices based upon what protects itself, but we still don't know actually what the Sybil system is.
Right.
Because
they made sure not to show us.
They made sure not to show us that, which I'm happy and upset about because it's not the ending of the show.
Right.
It's not that time. But then bringing in Makishima presents
That's-
a whole new set of possibilities
And-
because then we get to talk with him.
And this could be something where Makishima ends up actually being an ally.
Potentially. Like enemy of my enemy is a friend
Exactly.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, huge developments here. The Sybil system's core was penetrated.
Right.
And as such, it sent in a special enforcer to keep it safe.
Yep.
That could determine the lethal action
Was necessary. Yeah.
manually.
Right.
So either her,
Yeah.
the overseer, she being a part of the Sybil systems like AI or whatever, made that choice there, or she's another arm of the Sybil system and an example
Right.
of where the human and AI elements merge.
Right. Yes.
Because she's not a robot, I would say.
No.
She is one of those people that, like you said, like a cyborg that's got her brain there, but
Right.
everything else has been replaced.
Unless the brain itself has been removed and it's just being controlled by whatever the Sybil system is.
Potentially, but
Just
you
remotely.
can't get that many functions in a... I guess it's not a human body, so you don't need that many functions. So,
Although, well, no, it's
tough though.
The one thing where it might not work though is the fact
Right.
that they were in one of those whatever dome places where no signals can get out unless you're already inside, right?
Right.
So that would be kind of a problem if she was actually being remotely controlled completely, because she'd never actually be able to leave that dome area.
Well,
but she
no,
might not have.
the idea that the Sybil system, shuts down that area is more of a thing of saying that it's choosing to not let people use that area. It's not that the Sybil system doesn't reach there. It's that it's creating its own kind of dead zone for those that aren't meant to be there.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, we can debate that eventually. But okay, we had the foreshadowed scene from the first episode brought to play here.
Yep.
Makishima kicked Kogami's ass in hand-to-hand combat. And
it
every
was
single
pretty
time
even, but yeah,
Kogami came really close to having one of his limbs broken, like one of his arms or legs broken, it was really scary because they had really solid sound effects for it.
Yes.
And when you hear someone's bones break at the joint or something like that, it's very disturbing.
Yeah.
And Makishima seemed to be, if anything, kind of toying with him in that regard. There were multiple points where he could have broken his arm or his leg, and he seemed to kind of hesitate, and then Kogami freaked out and dislodged him. And
okay.
the fact that Makishima says, well, you briefly made me forget my boredom, so thank you.
Right.
It's kind of a thing of saying he wanted to prolong this feeling of not being bored for as long as possible.
Yeah.
So he could have killed Kogami, but maybe Kogami is keeping him entertained. So
right. And
he kind of did... He keeps forgetting about Akane. Like, he keeps kind of relating only to Kogami.
Maybe he assumed that... Maybe when Akane wasn't there, he basically guessed that Akane went downstairs.
Possibly, but that's a very loose assumption. Like, it's one of those assumptions that you go, okay, maybe he, was just kind of getting into the fight in particular. And the fact that Kogami was there kind of by himself all that time was a little bit of a problem. But if anything, the reason why it didn't work out that way is because once Akane waited for the bleeding to stop from the nail gun, Kogami was already interacting with two of them at a time. But if Akane had been there when two of the guards had been there, one of them could have walkie-talkied.
That's true.
Let him
That's
know
true.
About that. But since it was just one, the fight was over so quickly. He didn't have time to warn him.
Now here's my question.
Yeah.
All right. Did any... So the dude was recording it, the hacker guy, right?
Yes.
He was recording it, but if they're in that closed off space...
He can't be broadcasting
it. So here's my question.
Right.
Did Makishima send him down there while he's the distraction for Kogami, specifically because he believed that there could be some problem with going down there and he didn't want to die himself?
Potentially, I think that Makishima... I think that Makishima was hedging his bets, yes. But I think it was more that he was hedging his bets against Kogami.
Right, yes. Because he didn't want Kogami to disrupt what was going on downstairs.
Right.
Yeah,
And the idea was that even if he did get captured, which I think he's okay with, he'd think that the work down there would still go through. I don't think that Makishima is so intelligent that he could have predicted any possible outcome like what happened at the end of this episode.
Maybe.
Because holy crap, the ending of this episode...
That was amazing.
That's how you build up dramatic tension and add a character death in there that not only escalates the seriousness of this show, but also really gets the viewers hard. That hurts. Because Kagari had such a great conversation with this guy.
Oh yes, that was, if not for that, the character death could have fallen totally flat. Because he had some great conversations throughout the show. Yeah. But they were kind of a long time ago.
He only had a small amount of development.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this was you knew it was coming. You knew he was gonna die.
Yeah.
But at
the
same
fact
time,
that the conversation was happening, we knew meant he was gonna die.
Yeah. But it was done so well. I loved it.
Yeah. Once he got to that point where he was basically saying, no, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, you bastard. You're just as bad as they are.
Yep.
So I don't care. You burn it all. If I take my sweet time getting there, you destroyed the Sybil system. I'm fine with that. But then I'll come down there and kill you. And then two things I don't like will be snuffed out in the same day.
I thought that was awesome.
It's kind of a thing where Kagari has the most... He was dealt the worst hand of anyone in the MWPSB unit.
Right. I mean, getting flagged at 5.
Getting flagged at such a young age kind of makes me wonder if there's actually some... I mean, we're not going to find out. But what if there was some way in that his family was involved with, maybe some kind of construction about this area of the Sybil system.
And he got taken away as a way to keep them quiet or something?
Yeah, he could have gotten taken away as a bargaining chip. He could have been like, no, you're a part of their family, so we just ruled the entire family of these people.
Latent criminals,
yeah. And we don't know necessarily what his family situation was. I don't think he talked too much about it, of being maybe an orphan or something. But that's just rough. And the fact that the Sybil system basically had, again, that moment where it manually decided to break its own rules and determined to judge him. What did they call this episode? The Gate of Judgment?
Yeah.
He entered through the Gate of Judgment.
That was...
By him entering into the heart of the Sybil system, by him having the desire to look, he basically sealed his own fate. But the crazy thing is, I wonder what would have happened if he was outside the door. And if we would have found out whether or not the Sybil system was actually unable to work out there.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I'm really curious about, what would have happened if, say, he had just waited at the entrance and said like, all right,
That's
they
my
went
point.
down there. I'm gonna guard it here. Then they go down there and what? They find Ganoza's boss down there, and she
Right.
got kind of blown away by the hacker guy's shot. So like, that would have. I'm still interested in seeing how exactly they'll explain this because.
Well, here's the one thing that would be really interesting is if the boss lady, you know, why should she be the only one?
Right, absolutely.
The idea that there's a bunch of copies of her.
Oh, sure.
You know,
okay.
And basically, they'll meet up with someone that's exactly like her and has all the same memories, quote unquote.
Okay.
And we'll be like, wait, but she was damaged. Like, what? Why? Did he tell me they skin grafted her like in the next
Sure.
like 24 hours?
Yeah. Okay.
There's no way. But then it's like, no. There's a whole bunch of them. And by the end of the
Right.
show, we'll see a point where it's like the Sybil system has its own, basically security detail of overseers and
Right.
the like. The fact that there's no, people on site, really is an example of
Right.
where this whole thing is so screwed
Yes.
up. Because
well, there were some people that were killed, like right at the beginning. They showed the
the
dead bodies.
control room, yes, but I meant
Yeah.
like within the Sybil system's
Right.
like actual area.
Yeah.
But because we didn't see it, we didn't get our theories confirmed.
Right.
But we didn't get any of them denied. So
That's true.
So which one do you think is more likely now of our theories? Like which theory kind of feels the most like they're leaning towards it now with this new kind of detail with the overseer lady?
Well, here's the thing. So in order to make it be something where they could just like film it and have that be all the proof they need, it needs to be something that is visually very striking. It couldn't just be a bunch of motherboards everywhere, right?
That's a very good point. Yeah. We are not
doesn't-
staring at a whole bunch of computers.
That would not scream AI unless it had some holographic display saying in a deep voice, "I will subsume the
and
human
it's not
race."
some dodecahedron of amorphous shapes
Exactly,
with things
right.
that's like, ooh, it's like
bad stuff.
Bad stuff,
Yeah.
No, it's actually something that people will understand
just from looking at it. Oh,
which means
wow,
there's
it's
some
messed
kind
up.
of human element.
Exactly.
Has
So it's
to be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Mm-hmm.
The human element is, again, not obvious in terms of where it's connected to the AI portion, I'd say. Or at least whatever the computing power part is. But the fact that there was a manual decision, I don't think means that came from the inspector lady. I think that came straight from the Sybil system.
Right.
And an AI protecting itself makes sense. But it makes even more sense if there's something fragile in there that it needs to protect.
Yeah. Now,
something that's human.
here's a thought. What if what they actually saw in there? Think like Cylon, like hibernation chamber. They actually saw a bunch of the director lady.
Yeah.
Just like dozens of them.
Yeah.
Just like in powered down mode, and they're all like, "Oh crap, this is bad." And then
so then the Sybil system would just be then an AI at that point.
Unless it could just be an AI, or it could be the whole thing, because they did mention with the other guy that was basically full robot that we can't recreate the brain cybernetically.
Right.
So it could be that she managed to make herself immortal by like combining her brain with AI and cybernetics and stuff.
Sure.
Who
Possibly.
knows?
One of the things that I'm thinking of as a theme thing that could be brought up here, when I think about something that's striking visually.
Yes.
What was the sequence of episodes where they had a very disturbing set of striking visuals that the bad guy of the week was doing?
Yes.
The girl with her art.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great point. Because
I just want to bring up another connection.
Mm-hmm.
There was something that I remembered, I think it was last week when we were discussing this, and I didn't bring it up because I just didn't really think anything of it. But then you said striking visuals, and now it's coming back up again, is the insignia of the Sybil system. It's some kind of like T cross thing
that's right.
with like stuff coiled around it and stuff, and it reminds me of an old like Greek symbol. But I'm not even going to go into that. That actually more reminds me of the lady's art.
That is an excellent point. I hadn't thought of that before.
And one of the things that I'm thinking we're going to end up seeing here is this very twisted display of beauty with regards to humanity and machine.
That's a great point.
And that's a thing that people will instantly understand.
Right.
Because it's art. It's essentially something that someone could look at and go, oh, that's terrifying, or that's beautiful,
Yeah.
or that's disturbing, or that's intriguing. Like, it's going to get all these different reactions.
Sure.
But all of them lead towards the idea that this is Sybil. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What if we... No, I reject this.
Right. So one of the things that I thought was very cool that they did in this is that they made it so all those... You remember how, like, way back when we started watching the first episodes, we were talking about how they were doing a great job of adding little bits of world building on in each of the episodic sort of storylines for the show. And if you think about it, with where we're at now, all of them kind of make sense to some degree. With the robotics and the we can't replace the human brain, achieving immortality, all that stuff. With the domes that, you know, create the black spots and everything. All that stuff.
All that stuff is connected now towards the Sybil system, essentially.
Right. And the only thing that hasn't been so far is the girl with her art.
Oh, that's right.
So that's probably what it is.
There isn't really anything else.
Yeah, and if you think about it, that the Sybil system, you are absolutely on the money. It is almost exactly like one of her final art pieces.
Yeah, I keep remembering the symbol. It almost looks like a cross.
Right.
And then there's either some kind of person on it or a snake.
But they're like two things, and they're twisting around it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That actually reminds me of some old... Yeah, there's an old... Here's the thing. I'm trying to remember what it was. But it's like something from... I don't know what it's from, but there's something where there's some kind of thing that's staked to a pole, and it bestows upon people some kind of boon.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what it was. I'll see if I can remember. It's like from old ancient history. It's something...
Gotcha.
It's something that has a little bit more kind of superstition put around it than actual, like historical, like, fact and stuff like that. Okay. I'll see if I can look it up and...
put it in the comments or something.
Put it in the comments or in the next video.
Gotcha.
We'll see.
But
yeah, now I'm really getting the vibe that the Sybil system is something that is perpetuating itself.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
And that's wrong, because one of the things that you remove the ability for is actual change within the system. It will determine itself to be in the perfect state at a very quick pace, because it's probably linked to an AI.
Right.
And then the AI doesn't need to evolve because it's saying, no, I've achieved my mission. I'm doing what I'm doing.
All right.
And now people are trying to threaten that. That makes them the enemy. So then I deem them as being worthy of judgment via the dominators and all these other things.
And okay, like, I absolutely loved Ganoza's talk with his boss, who is some extension of Sybil. We now know.
Right. Yeah.
But after they found out about Makishima being criminally asymptomatic, I loved that whole discussion.
They wanted Makishima alive.
Yeah. Well,
so Makishima is not worthy of judgment by the Sybil system.
Right.
Which means that the Sybil system sees Makishima as essential potentially for its own survival.
This really seems to me like... this seems like what was that movie with Tom Cruise where they're in the towers?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember what it was called.
I'll put it up in the comments.
But and in that they were trying to capture a girl, because they were like, hey, we have these like human clones, right? But one of them that we have right now is kind of faulty, so we want a better template.
Yeah.
And I could totally see that being
what it is for
Makishima.
He is a better template than what they currently have.
Right. He's the upgrade.
And that ties into the whole thing of the Sybil system being one that's essentially like linked with criminally asymptomatic people.
Yeah.
Because they maybe have the ability to make choices.
Yeah, maybe it's not necessarily one criminally asymptomatic brain. Maybe it's a bunch of them.
Maybe.
And as they find them, like, they just extract and, like, hook it up to the system.
I don't see what the point would be in having more than one, though. Once you get one, you have one. It's not like the computing power is expanded by having more brains.
I don't think it's about the computing power. I think it's about the decision-making itself, because the AI is where the computing power comes in, right? And they want specifically criminally asymptomatic people because it probably has something to do with their ability to not be affected as strongly by emotions, right?
Sure.
So they want to keep sort of the logical side of it, but they do need the human side to handle all of the things that an AI just wouldn't be able to interpret because they would have that emotional element to it.
Okay,
they want a wisdom in a
right. Here's one way you can look at it. If they have a whole bunch of them, what it avoids the problem of is basically the AI taking control over the whole thing.
Sure.
Is that the human brains are actually there as a safety net to make sure that the AI doesn't, control everything.
Yeah.
And when they made the AI, they basically made it subservient to these minds.
Right. And
the idea is that they couldn't have the same people be there all the time because the brain would eventually die. What did they say? They couldn't break the rule of having they live beyond 150 or something.
That's a good point.
So what they're actually doing is they're thinking about the future of the Sybil system running for eternity. They need more criminally asymptomatic people or people with the perfect brain.
Right.
I actually could see at some point Akane being approached as being like,
absolutely.
Would you like to be assimilated into the system
Yep.
and be the one that actually brings about a new era of peace for 150 years?
Right.
And she has to make that choice.
Yeah. And
I think that's a bit Evangelion-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
But the fact that they're doing this, and this is episode 16. This is potentially just 2/3 of the way through the story.
That's ridiculous.
So that means that we are going to get a lot of awesome sauce in the future because the way they're setting this up.
Yeah.
Makishima and the gang are going to have to work together. Like, because they will need to keep Makishima, this is my prediction, from Sybil. Right? Once they figure out what it actually is.
Right. But that could take a while.
That could take a while. I hope it doesn't because Sybil will need to be very creative in order to excuse Kagari's just death and the fact that, you also shouldn't go down here.
No, it's just, Kagari died trying to stop them.
And then a new director just comes up, that looks perfectly fine.
Right.
And it's just like, I managed to stop them. It's all
No.
secure.
No, the security systems did it.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
They're not going to let anyone down there.
Right.
Yeah. This is going to be a kind of thing where it's like this goes above your pay grade, and they might give them that little bit of truth to kind of keep them away. It's like, this is the core of the Sybil system. Now you can't tell anyone.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll be deemed, an unnecessary threat to.
Sure. Are you still an effective team?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, this is very much like that.
Yeah. Oblivion. That's what
Oblivion.
It's called.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't seen Oblivion, it's a Tom Cruise sci-fi film. We kind of spoiled a little bit of it, but
or all of it. But yeah,
it's very good.
Yeah. And.
Yeah.
Because there needs to be the thing where they realize, like, okay, there's at least more to this because they can't have them just dancing around being like, oh, we don't know what happened, and then, like, rediscover it, like, 2 or 3 episodes later. So I get the feeling it's going to be more of they know that there's more to it, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And then...
Sure. So maybe they go and actually start assembling a group of people that are like Makishima.
Sure.
Who might be able to actually investigate the Sybil system.
Right.
Maybe.
Possibly.
I can see it being more of a thing where it's like Loki. They've got Loki, captured and stuff, and now we investigate through Makishima. So then they go into Makishima's past. They go into Makishima's doings.
Yeah.
Makishima ends up being kind of one of those people in the supermax security prison.
Yes.
But then Makishima has a backup plan for this whole thing, and they all break out.
Yeah.
And that's where Sybil basically starts enforcing things on a more strict level.
Right.
And that's when Sybil system becomes the actual threat.
Yeah. And if you think about it,
together to take it down.
Like the Dominators, so. Since now we know that the Dominators don't actually have to be targeted at people with certain psychopath levels or whatever, that's scary as heck. Because, Dominators are kind of OP. Like, there's the whole, transformation time and all that. But we literally have an AI or whatever it is turning humans into red paste.
Yep. There's no working around it, guys. This is a problem.
Yeah, just a bit.
One of the things I could see being an actual choice we have at the end is, let's say Makishima gets imprisoned, right? But Akane is the one that has the final choice because she's the main character, you know.
Okay.
And Kogami knows too much. And all the openings with having her pointing the guns at Kogami and stuff is kind of the thing of saying the Sybil system decides, you know, you need to kill him. And it's just whether or not she's willing to make the choice to.
Sure, that could be something that they do as like a hint that like, wait, things really aren't quite right. Kogami's psychopath jumps up to like 330 or something, and it's like, oh,
his psychopath is already basically a lethal enforcement
yeah.
level. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
The only thing keeping him safe right now is the fact that he is an enforcer.
Right. Yes. Yeah. But what if they had to break Makishima out of prison somehow? Like,
but I don't think that's what it's going to be.
Probably not. Probably not. Because,
like,
yeah.
Makishima, they could spend at least 2 or 3 episodes just interrogating him and going and doing investigations based on the things that they learned from him.
Sure. Now, do you think... do you think that Makishima will end up getting handed over to Sybil? And if so, I mean, I'm guessing at that point we just never see him again, right?
Oh, shoot. No, that's a good point. They're not going to keep him at the MWPSB. They're going to keep him in some super place.
Right.
And then Sybil's going to basically take him.
Yeah. So
will this story have another split kind of not split timeline, but split kind of plot line with Makishima's deals with the Sybil system?
Who knows?
Like, here's actually a thing. What if Sybil system gets kind of put into disrepair by Makishima's involvement?
Okay.
Then they have to choose whether or not to save or destroy Sybil.
Okay.
And it's basically a thing of, we captured Makishima. Makishima then learns the truth at some point after they've interrogated him, and that's like 2 episodes from now. Then they realize their mistake in bringing Makishima that close to the Sybil system. He ruins the whole thing. Then they have to chase him down again, and then it's a thing of, okay, will we, kill him and, essentially destroy the Sybil system?
Yeah.
Or will we keep him alive to basically use him to save the Sybil system?
Okay.
Like, because if he's necessary to be like a part of the Sybil system at some point in the future, then keeping him alive creates that dichotomy where you keep this madman alive, but you save the Sybil system and society. Save it,
right?
To an extent,
yeah.
Or you kill him and you actually end up getting what you want, but you destroy the Sybil system, at least for the time being. And it will never be the same. I think that's kind of what has to happen. That second one, because Makishima's will needs to be enforced with the way the society is right now.
Yes, he needs to. He
needs to sort of win.
Right, he needs to at least sort of win. He's too great of a villain or antagonist or whatever you want to call him in order for him to just outright fail.
Yeah.
And we know that there is a second season, so.
Yeah. So the Sybil system won't be completely destroyed. But it will be changed.
Yeah, probably not.
The threat will be changed at some point.
Right, maybe, yeah.
Do you want to bring up, that really brutal, hand-to-hand fight that they had, though, and just go into more detail with it?
Yeah, so
because that really felt like a Cowboy Bebop.
It totally did. It totally did. A lot of times, especially in Western movies and stuff like that, they'll try and make the action very choppy. Pretty much ever since the Bourne movies came out, it's all about who can have it. Be the jittery cam and super fast and This felt fluid.
It felt fluid, and then when there would be a hit, they would slow down on the hit, and then they would switch perspective to show the person getting hit. Basically, just Kogami. And him feeling the pain of each hit.
Yeah. And I really liked...
That's a very good style of fighting, I would say.
I also really liked the way they showed the suplex.
Oh, the suplex.
That was like...
the way him panning it.
Yeah.
It's oh, no.
You're like, oh, this guy's toast.
Yep.
Boom.
Yeah, I don't care what helmet you're wearing. You hit the back of your head that hard.
Well, your neck is just...
Well, your neck, too. You could die instantly or be paralyzed.
Yeah.
But generally, it's actually the bludgeoning to the head is what does it, yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, if their head gets forced forward fast enough that hard, maybe they could, suffer some paralysis or...
But, yeah, that was... the fights were really great. I loved that they had so many, different weapons that, and the idea is that they're not traditionally considered weapons, but they're just being used creatively.
Nail gun, a motor
laser saw thing, whatever that was.
Yeah, and whatever that was, that thing with the laser on it. I
Yeah.
really liked that as being I can't let this touch me. Like,
right, yes. I loved that the gang all got wounded on their way to like each of their final areas. Because that would have really sucked if the 6 guys, that were like, they're true believers and stuff, if they just ended up going out like punks,
Well, untouchable protagonists isn't very realistic.
Right. Star Wars can do it just because...
Sometimes they do the thing where they can get wounded a ton and they just don't get taken down.
Right. And they didn't even do that too much.
Yeah, they kind of moved... They were more in that direction, if anything, but... No, Kogami got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Really badly. You saw the blood coming in his eyes.
Yes.
Like, he got kicked in the head really hard.
Yeah, like...
when he was down.
That can kill someone.
That can really do some serious damage.
Yeah.
Like, he might have a cracked skull or something.
Probably.
Because when you get kicked in the head, the spot everyone's aiming for is the temple.
Right.
You get kicked there hard enough, you're dead.
Yeah.
Instantly. Brain damage.
And even if you don't kick them there...
Even if you don't kick them
the
there...
amount of force that's being applied to the head, and like the neck's not going to handle that very well.
No. In fact, sometimes the neck goes stiff, and it makes it even worse because you put resistance into it instead of letting it go slack.
Right.
Which might do more neck damage, but actually less head damage. So...
Yeah,
Kogami, I think, is the type that would have sensed it coming, stiffened up a little bit, and that's why he has the bloodshot eyes, because it's actual blood back there. So, holy crap. Kogami might be out of commission for a little while.
Right.
But now, thank goodness he is not in any mortal danger as far as we know.
Now, here's something that I just want to point out. Through this whole show, they've never actually shown real weapons. The closest they ever got was with that robotic hunter guy, and he had like an antique like double-barreled shotgun, right? Every other time it's been, a nail gun, a baseball bat, some sort of like wood saw thing or whatever.
Yeah. No one uses guns anymore.
Right. And is it that no one uses guns, or that Sybil system has gotten rid of them?
Yes.
And
it's both.
Yeah, I just think that's something that's...
Well, the whole idea of guns is primarily a security thing and then a military thing in combination. And the vibe I'm getting is that this country has no military.
Exactly.
And I think that's because the way they've set up their society is such that if they were to ever actually go to war with another country, it would just be a drone army.
Right. So now
the
can we
guns
talk...
are more of, if anything, put into the drones. So right now, all we're seeing, as far as what's relevant to the story, we're seeing drones that use dominators, essentially.
Well,
no, we're not.
We're not.
But we could be.
We could be. Because now, stuff from previous episodes that the director lady said can be taken in a whole different context.
New context, yeah.
So the fact that she said, we are working on raising a militia or whatever, a team to, respond to these attacks.
Right.
But we're not there yet.
Yeah. So one of the things that she's also lying about...
is screwed.
Well, no. I don't think it's going to go that route completely. But the idea that they're going to enforce an even more totalitarian regime very soon is that, kind of a full-on, essentially military police state by the drones having dominators, is actually saying that the drones are not fully controlled by the Sybil system yet, because the dominators will put them into the hands of the Sybil system.
Okay,
because
But now here's something that's interesting. The director already in her talk with Ganoza
is a drone.
Well, is a drone, but she also brought up the idea of, if that were the case, we could just equip all the drones with dominators. So the AI thing, Overmind, Sybil, whatever it is, has already considered the idea of giving the drones dominators and has ruled it to be ineffective or
too risky.
Too risky. It would cause too much of an uprising or whatever. But
it doesn't mean it's not coming.
Yeah.
I get the idea that if this whatever this is, whatever Sybil is, if it gets threatened enough, it will take extreme actions to protect itself.
But in a way, once it starts sending drones out with Dominators and stuff, it's kind of acknowledging that, like, its end is coming.
I don't think so. I don't think it would think like that.
Well, I mean, because the idea is that it needs to keep itself secret. It can't let the humans know.
Needs to survive. Secrecy is essential to its survival.
Right. So once it abandons secrecy,
it needs to really enforce its survival. Which
exactly.
I would say means Dominators on.
Right, Dominators on all the drones and stuff.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it
does it need people though in order to make that transition happen? Maybe that's why it's taking a bit of time, is that it
might
needs
be
people to make the decisions.
Sure.
Because one of the ideas we had was that criminally asymptomatic people could be in control of most top levels of government and stuff.
Right.
But I'm getting the idea that...
they might all just be robots.
No. That some of them might be robots, but they need more of them to be robots so that Sybil can control them as well.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. But I feel like this story is more focused on Makishima than Sybil, than we might want it to be.
I just want to say, though, I am so happy that this story that we got into, and I can't believe that, like, you have to tout it as a cop show to get people into it, because like, that is kind of what you have to do. You don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is not a
so
cop show.
Much more than a cop
this
show.
is an AI has already taken over humanity. Humanity just doesn't know it yet. Like,
see, we don't know that yet, though. We're still speculating.
Okay, that's a possibility because what was it? The hacker guy mentioned that he was from a different country.
Right.
So maybe it's just this country, this not Japan or whatever it is, that has been taken over by an AI, and that's why Sybil needs to make sure that it keeps it secret. Because if the rest of the world finds out that this one country is completely being run by an artificial intelligence, nukes are going to go crazy. Stuff is going to happen.
Think about it this way, Jacob. No. No. I think you gone way crazy with that idea.
Well,
no. Think about it this way. Sybil's system only affects its own country.
Yes.
Right now, only affects its own country.
Sure.
We have laws in our country that other countries don't have. It is not a matter of throwing nukes at another country because they have laws we disagree with.
No, it's because
it doesn't matter.
Country is governed by an AI.
It doesn't matter. We have countries out in the world that are being governed by dictators who slaughter their own people, Jacob.
Okay.
We don't fire nukes killing innocent civilians because...
That is an excellent point. That is an excellent point. And yeah, I was probably going a bit crazy with it. But I would say there are some fundamental differences between dictators that are just, like terrible people that slaughter their own citizens and an AI. Because people will, like, I would say humanity will tend to freak out about the idea of...
Yeah, no. Think about it this way. If this was run by a perfect AI, there'd be all these inconsistencies and plot holes that we'd completely have run into. We know for a fact, Jacob, that the way this is being set up, it's not just an AI.
Yes,
it's
that's
something
true.
else. And I would say it's more something else than AI. Otherwise, this wouldn't be the type of show that would bring up all these other things.
Sure.
So with that being said, this is going to end up being more of a kind of a shocker than a type of thing that is, completely morally bankrupt. Not the kind of thing that invites other nations, so to speak, to save this country from itself. I don't think this is even that thing where that'll even get brought up. I think this is a thing where Japan has a society that's completely unique, and everyone else knows about it, and they also are kind of reverent towards it.
Sure.
Because it's like, you guys actually made this work. That's impressive. Like, maybe other areas, like the guy the hacker's from, they've been trying to copy it, but they're not there yet.
Right.
So what they have is special, and even if it was revealed to be something flawed, they would go, oh, they're just like everyone else. They, have a flawed... setup.
Sure.
And if anything, it's like, okay, well, then you guys need to trash that and move on to something else.
Right, something that doesn't involve mixing people and machines to that extent.
Well, I don't know, but
Yeah.
But right now,
the
results of what Sybil's system is probably a positively marketed thing to the rest of the world. They go, wow,
oh yeah,
good
absolutely,
job. You've
absolutely
ended crime. You have utopia in your country.
Yep.
That's incredible. Yes, some people have to die and judge and stuff, but the state the world is in, or the state the country was in prior to the Sybil system, warranted that kind of a system.
And any individual instances of people dying, mysteriously, that's not going to make it into public knowledge, really.
Well, of course not.
So,
of course not. But it also kind of mirrors the aspect of where Japan was a more closed-off country until about 200 years ago.
Sure.
And so it's just, it was less than that. It was actually more like 150 years ago.
Yeah.
But now this is more of a futuristic thing where they've recycled back to that time. And I would see it actually being a thing where it'd be rare for someone from a different country to come into Japan, because then that adds new variables into the Sybil system.
Sure.
Or maybe they just have to pass a Sybil test,
Right, they have to check that their psychopath level is, within good
and they're
bounds.
like, what's psychopath? It's like, this is how it works here. It's like,
that's your passport,
Yeah, exactly. Interesting.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I don't think we have anything more to say.
No.
The episode was very good.
Oh yeah.
It was predictable in certain areas, but it executed itself so well in terms of where it decided to take things. And there's great conversations as well in this episode.
And the fact that they have so much left to do,
Just
like as far as the
boggles my
length of the
mind.
season.
Yeah. Oh, so good. All right, guys. If you want to see the next Psychopaths episode, go check out the link in the description for our Patreon. Get on early access, and also check out our Discord. We'd love to chat with you about anime and stuff there. All right, guys. We're calling it off here, so we'll see you again next time. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.